a little bit because I watched the game with my boys, and congratulations, Golden State. That's it. That's all, right? You're officially a dynasty at that point. If you get to 6 NBA Finals in 8 years and you win 4 of them, I know the other 2 are dreadfully sorry years where you're in the basement. So that's rare, really quite rare, that a dynastic organization has a couple of lulls in the run in which they end up not being competitive. That's very rare. You know what? You might get bounced. You might lose in the finals or in the playoffs, but you don't usually get to 6 in 8 years, win 4, and then have 2 seasons where you're like, whoa, they won 15 games. It's very rare.
There were some points where there was some sweating going on in my household. But before the series started, I saw that Golden State was merely minus 155.
And you gave it a run.
I said, that's not too expensive. They should win this series. I mean, what are we talking about here? But by game 3, I was thinking, oh, well, looks like I may have picked the wrong side.
Well, I tell you, Tom, I actually saw it differently. I got it wrong. I thought Boston would win in 7, 6 or 7, and at 2-1, I felt pretty good about it. Oops. And the sole reason was defense. I thought that Boston's defense was deeper, and I thought they had more options. A couple of things happened in the series to flip it, and I give Golden State all the credit in the world. Is once again we're reminded that this team, for all the flow and the beauty in which they play the game offensively, it's unlike any other franchise. All the great NBA franchises, you have a hallmark superstar transcendent talent. So you're always going to see somebody. It's Magic, it's Bird, it's MJ, it's Kareem. You're always going to have somebody, Hall of Famer, all-time great. So that part of it's the same. But nobody controls the NBA Finals or the league for as long as Golden State has from the outside. And they have. It's all perimeter brilliance and flow and the willingness to be so unselfish. That's a fun group. Like you could be indifferent about Golden State. If you're born in Atlanta, you probably don't care anything about Golden State. It's clear across the other side of the country. But if you just like free-flowing, unselfish, smart basketball to go along with preternatural gifts from its superstar, in the sense that we have never, ever in the history of basketball seen a player like Steph Curry. It's never happened. Nobody's ever existed that plays the way he plays. He hit 32 threes in this series. He's just and he shoots it from mid-court. It's insane.
It's just wild how things change. And, it depends on when you were born, what teams are good. And you know this because, and I'm not even saying it because you're older than me. It's just you've been through a couple more cycles of teams on the rise and then down. I remember when they were great. Well, I go back to when I was in, I don't know, what was it, high school or early college, the Baron Davis Golden State team. And it was such a novelty that Golden State was good. And they upset Dallas. I think it was in 5 games, whatever it was. But it was a massive upset. And I remember thinking, oh, my God, Golden State has been nothing but sorry my entire life. This is cool.
That is true.
Flash forward a half a lifetime away to now.
And they're a dynasty.
That's who they are. They're the best. They're the gold standard. No pun intended.
Yeah, man. When people think of the NBA, if they're beyond their own rooting interests, if they're being honest with themselves, the first 2 teams you're going to think of are the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics. The third team you'd think of is the Chicago Bulls, because of Jordan's dynastic run and all of those titles.
If you're my age or older, this is all true.
Yeah, but
I go Bulls first. That was an indelible mark they left.
Yeah, so, but if you're a historian of the league and you love the league and you've cared for, say, 40 plus years, I've watched it for 40 plus years, then you always say Celtics Lakers because they have the most titles. You get 18 or whatever it is for Boston and 17 for Boston, I think it is, and the Lakers have that many as well. So that's what you think of. But then it's like, what other groups have come along to put together runs that are as dominant as certain other? See, the difference with the Lakers and the Celtics is that they've had different eras of runs like that. So the 60s Celtics were unbeatable. And then you had, obviously, the Lakers and the Celtics in the 80s both dominating. So you've had different runs. And you had the Kobe Lakers with Shaq. Those are different, cross-generational. Whereas the Bulls, pretty much pre-Jordan, you're like,
right.
Post-Jordan's been a lot of...
But it was the entirety of my formative time.
Sure. Yeah, no, and believe me, they're top of mind as well. The Spurs were a team that are in a lot of ways unfortunate for them. I think stylistically, they're largely forgotten when we have these discussions because they're kind of boring, just like their stars.
Right, but they touched into 3 different decades and
they're
won
incredible.
Titles in 3 different decades.
They're incredible, and that's why they're on the short list of teams that I'm going to mention as soon as I start talking about greatness. To your point, this is still so fresh, but it feels very odd that we would be talking about the Golden State Warriors in this manner.
Right, the kid in me is like, that's not possible.
Right.
That would be akin to the Cleveland Browns being the gold standard for the last 10 years in the NFL. It'd be the same thing.
Right. Yeah, no, think about it. I mean, it is bizarre, right? I mean, they belong now in that conversation. Like the teams that we're going to mention, whether we're arguing about where San Antonio is or where the Bulls are compared to the Lakers and the Celtics, you're going to have to bring up Golden State now from forevermore.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah. It'll be like if you're 70 and I'm 55 and the Houston Texans are the gold standard in the NFL. Like, what?
Well,
how are the Houston Texans?
To your point, my entire childhood, all the way until we get to Tom Brady, save for one season where Bill Parcells took him to the Super Bowl.
Brett Favre.
Yeah. So other than that, the Patriots were nothing. You know who the Patriots were? The wrong team on the wrong day to get demolished by that Bears 46 defense in the Super Bowl in record fashion. You thought of them, and maybe you mentioned Steve Grogan and a couple other guys, but that was it. You didn't think other than you just thought about them as a bunch of also-ran losers. They didn't matter. And now they're synonymous with the greatest of the franchises in the NFL. When we play this exercise out in the National Football League, much the way we do with the NBA, where you say Lakers, Celtics, and then you name a few others. In the NFL, Cowboys, Steelers, Packers, Raiders, they're all kind of right there.
I might flip it with Steelers.
49ers have to be in there because of the Joe Montana teams and the dominance that they showed. You got pre-salary cap era, post-salary cap era. It's very significant.
Very different discussions. There's
very
no doubt
different discussion.
But yeah, I'd flip it probably Steelers then Cowboys, just because the Cowboys are front-loaded, really, and they know it. Those fans know it. They're like Miami Hurricanes fans almost. Like, oh man, remember back when we were the baddest team in town?
Well, yeah, they won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, 4 years. So yeah.
But since then, bupkis. And Pittsburgh has just been consistent as hell over that period of time.
Well, they didn't have as many years where they just fell off a cliff.
Correct.
But they had some. That's interesting. Well, there's no franchise that consistent. The Patriots did something that nobody had ever done. That was ridiculous. It just on and on and on and on and on and on.
And it doesn't feel quite over, even though it kind of is.
Oh, it's over.
It still doesn't. If they won 10 games this year, 11 games, you'd be like, Bill has done it again. Jesus.
Well, but you don't think
giving up 18 points a game.
Right, but they have zero shot to win a Super Bowl.
That's fair.
This year, they zero, no chance. I mean, no chance. Unless Matt Jones just suddenly becomes this, or Mac Jones becomes this other player.
No, agreed. I agree there. I'm just saying that you're still not, they're not the dregs of the league yet.
No. It was 3 and 4 years. Yeah, that's what it was. But my Bills in 10 years, 5-time Super Bowl champions. Try to get that one, Tom. Try to get that one, buddy. Just get that one. Tony Eason, golly, we are going back, aren't we? We are going back. That's fun, though. It's fun to think about these dynastic runs and where certain dynasties fit by way of comparison, either within the sport or even, outside of that, crossing leagues. The greatest dynasties to ever exist. Obviously the Yankees with 27 titles. So
yeah.
Now, we get into, this is where the diehard sports fans, this is where we get into.
Nice job since 2000, Yankees. Since then, hey, that one was good. It's 2022. We're almost a quarter century into this thing.
Continue to not win them. That's great. The bulk of my lifetime saw you win way too many. I don't care if I ever see you win another one in New York. That's fine. You don't have to. I'm not talking about you.
Right. No, that's the other side. The Bronx. The 1 train, not the 7 train.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't care if the Yankees ever win, because from the inception of baseball, they've had a built-in advantage, and they refuse to acknowledge it when you talk to their fans about the championships. They just don't. They don't.
Although this season's team is absurd.
Yeah, they're really good.
God,
they're really good.
They're 30 games over 500.
Baseball's a weird sport. Baseball's the sport where your team could be the best and you don't trust it. You never trust it. It's frustrating. We've watched how many times. We just saw it in college baseball yet again. We've been talking about this for a while. I was laughing all year long. Every time Tennessee won, every time Tennessee had an undefeated week, I'm like, what's it going to matter if you don't win at all? It's the worst. It's the worst. And that's because I'm broken from all those dominant Florida State baseball teams in the 90s. Like, I got so tired of hearing our fan base, oh, well, it doesn't mean anything. It does mean something that they had the best record of the league and that they were ranked in the top 10 and that they were top 8 national seed and that they won the conference. It does mean something.
The answer to that, fan, is then why are you watching the regular season at all? Yeah.
But
just wait till Omaha. Go away and come back in June.
But that is the problem with college baseball. It is also a built-in problem in the sport. And I say it's a problem. It's just a reality. It's not a problem as long as you recognize it. And it's what keeps you on edge. If the Mets won 100 games this year, once the playoffs started, you wouldn't feel great, even if they had the best record in baseball. You'd like that they were good. You'd like knowing that they're capable.
Yeah.
But it's baseball, man. You fool around and catch a couple bad breaks in a game, and the next thing you know, you're in a 7-game series, and anybody can win game 7.
Yeah, it's just crazy the math you got to do now as a baseball fan with the new playoff system, because now you're eyeing a bye. Like, that just seems so foreign to the sport of baseball that the discussions we're going to be having on this very show in 2.5 months time is, all right, they're in the driver's seat for the bye. But here comes the Central. Here come the Brewers. The Brewers could get that 2 seed. And if they get the 2 seed, they get a bye. So you really want to secure not playing a best of 3, because guess what? San Diego's really hot right now. Or whatever. Philadelphia's really hot right now.
Yeah.
Those are the conversations that are coming for baseball. So bizarre.
Back to my original point. Happy Father's Day. I hope you guys have a great one out there. I know I will. Do you know that in Estonia, where my friend lived relatively recently, Estonia is a beautiful place, by the way.
It's near Latvia.
Estonia, by the way, has been ruled by any number of countries, several, at various points. But anyhow, that said, it's a national holiday there. Everybody gets the day off.
What, the adjoining Monday?
Yeah. Nobody has to go to work. There's none of that nonsense.
Well, are you going to go to work on Monday?
I am not, but it has nothing to do with Father's Day. I am doing fresh content.
That's right.
For Warchant TV, and
the audience will hear it.
And the audience will hear it here too. Yeah, but I will not physically be here on that day. I will be out of town. I will also be out of town on Tuesday. So we got to figure out what we're doing with headlines, and then I will be back ready to go by Wednesday. Going to take in a little concert and a little beach time. It'll be 150 degrees while I'm there, and I don't know, this doesn't feel timed right.
Yeah. I've got a tea time tomorrow at lunch.
Buddy.
You know the amount of water that's going to be consumed between now and lunchtime tomorrow? This is not a time to get cute and mess around and say, yeah, I'll hydrate with some, natty lights. Nope.
Well, that's never really a time to say that, but yeah.
Oh, there are plenty of times to say that, but this is not one of those where you joke around. Tomorrow, it's 112 degrees in the heat index tomorrow, sir. My God.
So each of the last 2 days, my boys have come home from their respective camps and challenged me what they say every time we get in the driveway. You want to go for a little 2v1, Dad? A little 2v1? Clark is now of the age, he's 12, that it's completely unfair. I mean, they figured out that all you got to do is space, and once he got good enough to knock down open jumpers, what am I going to do? Because I would defend Bryce and take that away. And he used to pass to Clark, and I could get over there to scare him. I could just running at him, he'd get frightened with the ball in his hand. But he doesn't do that anymore. He knows I'm not going to plow through him, so he stands tall and knocks down the shot.
He finally believes it. It took him years.
Yeah. And he's also now capable of knocking it down. And if I contest too much, I'm sprinting to get out there, he'll just pass.
Head fake, spin, windmill jam.
No, he didn't do that. Yeah, but I'm not doing the back and forth monkey in the middle. Here I am trying to get the ball. This is ridiculous. But that's what they do to me now. So I said to him, it's 150 degrees. Why do you want a 2v1? He said, because it's fun. It's fun because you guys are going to win, and I'm running back and forth like a madman.
Yeah, these are the wrong days to do that. These are the days where the sweat hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Physically, your pores hurt from sweating.
I went to hit golf balls yesterday just to hit a bucket, just because I was inspired. You're watching the U.S. Open all day, and you just you see a shot or two that somebody pulls off, and you're like, I wonder if I can do that. That's a good looking shot. I want to try that. Oh, cut fade there. That was nice. I want to try that. So I go out there to hit balls. And I also bought a pair of new shoes.
Got to break those in.
Got to break those in.
Square strike, right?
Yeah, no.
These revolutionary designs.
Oh, man.
Square strike will add 8 yards of distance or your money back.
My man 6 over yesterday in his square strikes. Way to go, Seth Straka.
Is he the front man for it now?
He's on the commercials now.
Okay.
Him and Faldo and Fat Ass. John Daly. Well, Daly has to do it.
Could be a few dudes, yeah.
Well, it's John Daly. He's the Fat Ass. You have to, So,
hey, everybody, Craig Stadler for Square Strike.
Daly, they're smoking and drinking in his squares. It's the best. But bottom line is, I went out there to do that, and then I got I got about like 10 balls in. I went, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. No desire to do this. Hey, something has started, and you know what it is, Tom, and it involves Florida State football, and it's always, I wait on it. Sometimes it happens a little sooner. Sometimes it happens a little bit later, but it's always one of the boxes to check. Now, there are several. The system, you guys that go way back on the Jeff Cameron show, remember the system. So I'm invoking the system again, and this is where you've kind of arrived. This means more to me than it would you, but it means something to me, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Hey man, have you heard the sound? Pentalpha Jewelry's the best in town. Rings, diamonds, earrings, bracelets, and more. Pentalpha Jewelry Store.
Hey, this is Greg Tish. I want to tell you about my first experience at Pentalpha Jewelry. It was many, many years ago, and my grandparents took me up there for a special occasion to buy me a necklace. I still remember how amazing the customer service was. Fast forward to today, and I can still go in there and get the same great customer service at Pentalpha Jewelry. Nothing has changed, not even their location, 2903 Apalachee Parkway, where they've always been. Now sing along with me, and I'll see you at Pentalpha Jewelry.
Pentalpha Jewelry, Pentalpha Jewelry, Pentalpha Jewelry, on the midnight price.
Hey, this is Dustin Rivest. During the pandemic, I noticed restaurants struggling with online ordering and watched as all the major third parties took advantage of our local restaurants and thought there must be a better way, which is why I created foodiestakeout.com. The unique thing about Foodies Takeout is that restaurants keep 100% of their order revenue versus splitting upwards of 30% with the third parties like Uber Eats and Bite Squad. At Foodies Takeout, you can find some of your favorite restaurants, such as Jerry's Midtown Cafe, Miss D's Kitchen in Frenchtown, Casa Grande, and even El Jalisco. Or if you're on the north side of town, check out Horizons Bar and Grill. Why not give us a try? Head to foodiestakeout.com or text foodies to 230-9456, and I'll even give you 10% off your first meal. Supporting local restaurants has never been easier. Visit foodiestakeout.com.
Hi, my name is Shannon Pash, and I'm the principal at Red Hills Academy. We will provide a challenging, rigorous curriculum. We will also work with our students to teach them how to set goals and then how to work to reach those goals. Red Hills Academy will offer the Spanish language every day. Relationships are really important to us, not just with our students, but with our families and the community. This benefits parents and students alike because parents get that involvement within the school. Easily apply online today at redhillsacademy.com.
Hi, this is Jamie McClenny from Trek Financial in Tallahassee. Managing downside risk in your portfolio is one of the biggest challenges that you'll face in retirement. Trillions of dollars in stimulus from the Federal Reserve and D.C. politicians, combined with zero interest rates, have propped up financial markets since the financial crisis ended in 2009. The Fed recently ended quantitative easing and has started to raise interest rates at a time when the global economy was already slowing. Have you considered what another 50% correction in the stock market would do to your retirement plan? If you're concerned about where this all might be headed and would like to find out about the potential benefits of an active risk management strategy for your portfolio, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule a time for a review of your portfolio from an active risk management perspective.
Make Jamie your first call for a second opinion. Investment advisory services are offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
I've gotten addicted to the Hulu.
So over under
92.5
documentaries that you watch per year.
Oh, I'm a documentary nut. I love documentaries. I just watched one last night. I stayed up too late after the NBA Finals watching the second half of the George Carlin documentary. I hadn't seen the second half of that yet.
Man, you were up late.
I'm way too late. I'm tired as hell. But that's all right. I was into the I've been meaning to watch that second half of the Carlin documentary because it's the half I'm most excited about. I already knew all the stuff in his youth and all that. So I was like, I want to see the second half. And so I keep telling myself I'm going to do it, and then I never do it. And then finally I was like, listen, the Lightning are going to be playing this weekend. I'm not going to do it then. So I just decided, screw it, I'm going to watch it. I was all geared up. And so I did. Really quickly. So I mentioned a moment ago that this is always one of the boxes to check. And I get excited about these things because it's, even though it's just the initial box, it's still one that's been on the list for the better part of 20 plus years of being on the air. And that's the indicators, no matter how far off. It could be a faint light in the distance, but a light nonetheless, that football is approaching. And so yesterday, I was doing something for the College Sports Book. I was previewing some win totals for the ACC Coastal. And I was wrestling with some of those win totals in the ACC Coastal. And I went under on Pitt. And I went under 3.5 on Georgia Tech.
Oh, my.
They're awful. He's 9-26 or 9-25, Matthew, which was it? I cited Jeff Collins' record. It's not good. It's 9-25.
So they only need 3 more after they beat us inexplicably.
They're not going to beat us. But have you seen Georgia Tech's schedule? That's cruel.
I saw it in 2015 as well.
Well, listen to me, man. This is so wrong. I know you're still scarred, but I'm going to pull this up.
It's just absurd.
So that number is 3.5, by the way. 3.5. That's just ridiculous. You would think, they easily win more than 3.5 games. Well, I'll tell you what. When you go through that schedule, they lost their best players to the transfer portal, okay, or graduation. They didn't have many good players to begin with.
That's the original transfer portal.
Yeah,
transfer
graduation.
to life.
Yeah. Georgia Tech's schedule has Clemson. Well, here are your 2 wins, okay? I'll give you this. I'm going to give you this one. They might beat Duke at Georgia Tech. They'll beat WCU. Is that Western Carolina?
Are you sure?
Probably. Now, I don't know where I get a 3rd win. I think you could have gone under 2.5. You might get 3, but you're not getting 4. You should mortgage your house.
Is that a confirmation of a bet I heard in the background?
Yeah, there you go. So you will not, Tom. Here you go. Clemson is on this schedule. Georgia is on this schedule, which is cruel and unusual. And they bookend. You begin the season with Clemson and you end the season with Georgia. Talk about bend over.
That's
my God.
Interesting too. They do that often because they're the cross rivals, Clemson and Georgia Tech.
So wrong.
And Dabo will run up the score on
Jeff Collins
if he can, but he didn't last year because he couldn't.
His quarterback wouldn't let him.
And what is Clemson's situation in week 1? I mean, just against the number, that's going to be interesting because if it comes out at 38.5 or 35.5, I don't know.
It's an 8:00 kickoff, Tom. They're going to be feisty.
Where?
It's at Georgia Tech.
Oh.
I don't think it matters.
To the number, it might. 35.5, 38.5.
All right, here you go. Ole Miss is on their schedule.
Ooh.
What are we doing?
Wow.
Who's doing this to Jeff Collins? What do they have against Jeff Collins? What are we doing out here? Jeff, we know you're 9-25, and your prospects aren't good. The fan base isn't exactly buying in these days at 9-25, Jeff, but we think maybe some high-profile games against Georgia, Clemson, and Ole Miss we can get. What are we doing?
It'll help with the gate.
Yeah.
Are they going to Oxford for that game?
No, that game's at Georgia Tech.
That's why. They're doing it for the gate.
They also travel to UCF, who's been an infinitely better program than them. So they're going to get killed by UCF. Tom, I don't see it. Here, you find me 4 wins is how I have to lose this bet. They have to win 4 times for me to lose the bet. Clemson, Western Carolina, Ole Miss, UCF on the road, Pitt on the road, hosting Duke, hosting Virginia, on the road at Florida State, on the road at Virginia Tech, hosting Miami, on the road at North Carolina, on the road at Georgia. Get the hell out of it. You can't do it. You can't find him. You cannot find him.
You need a mega upset at Virginia Tech or something like that along the way.
On the road?
Yeah. That's why it'd be a mega, or North Carolina, those frauds. That seems like a game that Carolina would lose. What's going on in Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
We're tied at 21 in the fourth quarter.
I'm gonna tell you this. I can get you WCU. I can kind of close my eyes and find a way to maybe get you the Virginia game at Georgia Tech.
Well, Virginia gets a 5,000-yard quarterback, right?
Yeah,
returning.
No, I'm saying I'm trying to find the wins, Tom. I'm not finding them against Ole Miss. I'm not finding them against Georgia. I got to find them against somebody. So I'm stretching it, and I'm trying to find you one against Virginia. I can get you one against Duke, and I can get you that WCU win. Where are you getting me that 4th victory? You're right. It's got to be
the ACC flexing its muscle. That's what it's got to be.
Anyhow.
Don't underestimate the ACC.
Yeah. So I did this yesterday, and I had on my mind the ACC and betting, and I was going through this, and I got an email, and I don't know. I've not heard of this person. Doesn't mean that they're not something of note or not. I'm not trying to be cruel. But I got an invite from this. I think it's a magazine. Maybe just a website.
It's not a troll, is it?
No, it's ACC.
His name wasn't Seymour Butts.
No. His name's Jim Quist. And no, he's a member of the Football Writers Association, USBWA, and all that stuff too. So no. He's the publisher and podcast co-host for ACC Nation, whatever the hell that is. They want me to come on.
Sparsely populated nation, I would say.
They want me to come on to talk about, obviously, the ACC and the preview for the upcoming season. Well, I got that invite the same time I was talking ACC football, at the same time that I was getting ready to call to book a room up in Charlotte. So here I was. Yeah, I know we got a house and all that. I probably just won't. But
all right.
But the point is
elitism. All right.
Yeah.
Very well.
I like my solitude. You do too. You do too. You don't want to be. What are we? 20? Well, this is.
It's not like double. Occupancy. Everybody gets their own room. Oh man. Okay, I see. The thing I'll ask for is the Cameron Express on the ride, though. Just drop me off at the house.
Yeah, I got you. I'll drop you off.
Because that's, 90 minutes ahead of the ETA.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I'll get you there, baby. So anyhow, what am I saying? Well, we're checking the boxes because the ACC kickoff's coming up. We've got preview magazines about to hit the shelves. I used to sit down with the system and drink my coffee in the corner of good old-fashioned bookstores that pretty much don't exist anymore, which breaks my heart. And I would sit there and I'd read them all, and I would do these previews. And then I got an email from Phil Steele. So this was, what are we doing yesterday?
What's Phil Steele up to?
Well, Phil Steele would like me to promote certain things that Phil Steele's doing.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure
but,
he would.
But hey, it's the point that this is the time of year where the invites, the previews, the conversations centered around football prognostication begin. It happens now. Sometimes it's a week earlier, sometimes it's a week later. But yesterday, all at once, custom wrapped, boom. Hey, Jeff, it's about that time. And I got really excited. Then I saw where we once again are starting to look ahead. Florida State football players projected. Phil Steele revealed yesterday. Jamie Robinson on his first team. Mastromano on the second team. Dylan Gibbons. Micah Pittman on his third team. Defensive tackle Robert Cooper. Cam McDonald is on the fourth team. I had to hand in my top 40 list.
There's a fourth team?
Well, on Phil Steele's.
Okay.
Series, yeah. So the point is, he did all that. Athlon published earlier this month for accolades for Fabian Lovett, Amari Cooper, Trayshawn Ward, Robert Scott. Athlon's not paying attention, but anyhow, there's all of that.
Hey, come on now. If there are 4 teams, then
I don't know if Athlon has a fourth team, but the point would be, all of that stuff is starting to come out, and I got excited about that. And I did hand in my 40 players. How about them apples? Did that yesterday too.
Man, I was the one who forgot, and I had it ready on Wednesday, and I got an email from Gene last night saying, can you send that over? I'm thinking, oh, my God.
I didn't do it.
It's right there. I had sent it to myself. I had the list.
You had them in order?
Yeah.
So let me ask you.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm just saying you might have had a group of 40 names, and you were thinking about positioning them.
So, no, I had to – the hard thing – and it's not difficult.
That's what I'm going to ask you about here.
Is when you have to drop somebody, 29 because you forgot about him. You're like, oh, my God, this sucks.
That happened to me several times, and I've got to be honest with you. I didn't go all crazy trying to reconfigure after I screwed it up. Like, I realized I forgot a pretty decent player, and I had him down. Like, at that point, I'd already done like 24 players. Who was it I forgot? I'll tell you here. I'm going to look it up right now.
I'm going to guess either Deloach or Pokey.
It was Pokey.
Aha, all right.
It was Pokey, yeah. So, and then I realized it's like, oh, you can't do that. No, you got to get together. So I allowed myself a couple of maneuverings. But after that, I'm not going, because you got the numbers and you got to do the delete and then move the thing around and the copy and the paste and all that. It's annoying. So I was like, I'll just put Dylan Gibbons here. Yeah, that's kind of.
How high up did you have Gibbons?
15.
Oh, man.
Top 15. He's a good player. He was our best offensive lineman last year.
This is interesting. I've got him really high on the list.
You got him top 10?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. This is good. This is good.
I got him higher than that.
Well, you got top 5?
Yep.
Oh, get the hell up.
If he gets hurt, no. Again, it's about impact.
Lost your
No. This could be a fun video series then. Because it's about impact. If he gets hurt, you're going to have what? Darius and Dimitri Emmanuel as your starting guards?
Well, no. They're bringing Big Boy in. And so we got Bless Harris to be a starter. You can move Washington, probably, right? He's one of your guards. And then what was the other? Well,
Dimitri Emmanuel, the kid from Charlotte.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't even list him.
Oh.
Well, he wasn't even here.
I'm in the 30s. Yeah.
See, I screwed that
up.
But
those are going to be your 2 starting guards? Oh, man. And how good do you feel about Robert Scott at left tackle?
Emmanuel. Good God, I feel bad about that. Well, I don't feel good about Robert Scott. I tell you that every day that I'm on there.
And if Dylan Gibbons is not lining up next to him, how do you feel about that situation?
No, listen, I love Dylan. He's my top 15. I didn't have the guy off the list, but he's not. You had him ahead of guys like Tatum Bethune?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes, because if your linebacker rotation is Deloach and Lundy, that is better than an offensive line rotation without Dylan Gibbons at left guard.
I think it drops off significantly, just as you do with the line. I agree with you there. If Lundy has to play, that's not ideal. I mean, he's okay, but he is so one-dimensional. He can't cover you, and we get exposed. And
if you've got Darius at left guard and Dimitri at right guard, oh, dude. That's problems, especially if Lyle starts because he ain't the most fleet of foot. So who you pulling? These pin and pull actions are so important, and Gibbons is uniquely fit to do that right now.
So then I ask you this because I had a hard time with it then. If you're projecting Caden Lyles to be the starting center, which neither one of us know for sure is going to happen because we have our questions, what did you do with Maurice Smith?
I didn't list him, I don't think.
He's 37th on my list, so there you go.
I didn't list him. He's got to put on 30 pounds before he makes my list of 40.
And that is my point. I put him in late at 37 because there's an outside possibility from some stuff that I've heard that I don't want to get into because it involves medical stuff. So I'm not going to bother the man. But no, he's okay. He's not dying or anything like that. I'm just saying he may have the ability to put on the weight.
Yeah.
And he didn't have it before. Okay. I'll just say that. He now may have the opportunity to put on some weight.
Well, then he'll make the postseason top 40 if he does.
Right. So the reason, and that's exciting and encouraging because here's the deal.
That gives you another strike if somebody gets hurt.
That's why I didn't get so crazy.
Oh, well.
See, I had inside dope.
Yeah. What the hell, man? You got to give me the dope.
I had the inside dope. So
where's my dope?
You didn't ask.
Gibbons would have fallen to 7.
I had that information, and I thought, my man's maybe going to put on some weight. But this would be a big deal for Florida State. A really big deal. If you can get that kid to put on 20 pounds, he's athletic, he's tough, he's mobile.
I don't know if the weight will help him with the snapping of the football thing.
I don't need him to snap. He could play guard.
Right.
So my point is then you have either a backup guard that's viable, like a real one, and or a starter. If he gets that much stronger and that much bigger.
Heaven forbid Schrader gets healthy like they say. Because then, look, man.
Not even on my list.
He didn't make my list either.
No, not even on my list.
That's why it's the top 40. I'm just talking about rounding out a rotation of 8 or 9 if one of the freshmen are good enough to be in an emergency rotation of 8 or 9. Not starters. Just you're not dead men walking in the trenches if one of your dudes is out, which is where we've been.
I want to give Space Heater some love here. He made me laugh because it really is applicable to me and my age. And he's older than me. He wrote, maybe you don't know this, but they do make programs that automatically renumber a list, and they have since 1987. It's true. I'm aware of this, but I don't know necessarily how to access it. I just go ahead and manually delete, renumber, and put the name is what I do. I like 36 erase, then or I don't erase it. I erase the name in front of 36.
Because you're doing a reply to an email. I do the same thing.
It's a reply to an email. If it had been a different type of document, and I would have done that. There was a more efficient way to do this, but I was on a roll because I was projecting the bet totals that I was doing for a college sports book. And then I was like, oh, I'm in the college football mode. Let's knock out this top 40 for Gene so that we're good to go. And Tom, you'd be very impressed. I wanted to see how many of the top 40 that I could name without looking at the roster. You hear me?
I'm listening to you. How many you could name without looking at the roster?
So I just literally sat there and went, okay, here we go. Let's go. One, two, three, and I did. I got to basically high 30s before I was like, okay, I got to start checking in.
That tells you
I'm overlooking some people
but
here.
The roster's better. That's what that's telling you as well. Because you would classify a kid, a number, a position as not worth remembering. And you would only get to 21 or 22 if you thought this roster was complete what it was 3 years ago. Just a travesty. So since it's gotten better, you're remembering into the 30s.
There were more names on the tip of the tongue for the first time in a long time. I was just kind of, all right, there we go. Look at that. There's another one. And there's another one. And another one. And another one. He's going to be pretty good too. There's another one. And another one. I just kept going. I couldn't believe it. I knew I could get to 22 because I could think of the 11 starters on offense and the 11 starters on defense. Now I may have to reorganize them. And then I thought of special teams. Where'd you put Travis J?
Oh, he didn't make the list.
Oh, it's my guy.
Yeah, that's why I was a little alarmed when you brought him up yesterday. I'm like, he ain't even cracking the top 40.
He didn't make my list either.
Okay, well, all right. That's good.
I was hoping
after all that hype.
Yeah.
Don King over here.
He didn't make it. He could have made it. I could have put him in there ahead of, I don't know, Patrick Payton or somebody.
One of my first cuts was Sam McCall, and it hurt. I was like,
Sam McCall didn't make mine either. Oh, no, he did. Sam did make mine.
He made yours?
You know why? I reconsidered, Tom. Not only did he make mine, he made a crazy leap. He went from not making the list to jumping higher up than you would have thought possible.
31.
He's in the 20s.
What?
Yeah, let me tell you why.
Because he'll be a special teams wonder boy for his freshman year?
He'll be awesome on special teams. He plays with an attitude, and he's a hitter. And I think in the second half of the season, after he understands what they're trying to do defensively, he's going to get more run. He's going to be in the rotation, and he's an athletic freak. He's
20s.
Yes.
So
now,
if he only plays half a season on defense, then he better have 2 or 3 picks.
He might. Come on. Look who we've been running out there.
I get it.
If he starts over Renardo Green,
that's where I have AZ Thomas. I have him in the 20s for a similar reason, but I don't think there's going to be room for McCall if Thomas is in that position. That's my point.
Where did I put AZ? I got AZ in the 20s.
Okay.
I got AZ in the 20s. I got McCall further down.
Did you put Fitzgerald on the list?
Ryan Fitzgerald?
Yes.
39th.
38th here.
Okay, so yeah, you thought you were going to get me.
Well, no, because you hate putting kickers on the list.
I hate it. My last 2 spots are Fitzgerald and Mastromanno.
We're gonna play a lot of close games. I got Mastromanno actually a little higher because field position. If we get a couple first downs, you're gonna like this kid even more. Did he have one roll in for a touchback last year? I don't think he did.
What about Tate Rodemaker?
He made the list.
Yeah, he made my list too. Because if he has to play,
right, by definition, he could have 4 drives this season, and he'll be an impact player over, some roll dudes.
I think. I'm also projecting some things here, Tom. I've got some projections, pal.
Under 0.5 games that Tate Rodemaker starts this year.
Well, if it's over, we're in trouble. Unless he's starting against some bum. Unless he's starting against Georgia Tech or something,
Right, yeah.
Well, even then.
This offense, I think, against Georgia Tech can handle itself.
You'd like to think, Tom.
The spring indicated that you're not completely screwed.
You'd like to think, but man,
I do like to think that.
I know.
I like to think in facts.
I like to run him. I would run him. Get his ass out there,
roll
moving
him
around.
right.
Yeah, get him. Tell him though, and you got to express this intently. You don't have to throw it when we roll you out over there. Young man, you are responsible for the worst interception ever thrown in Florida State football history on a play in which we rolled you out.
Now, hang on a minute. Is that actually true? Because I believe it is in the moment, but I didn't see all of Chris Rick's interceptions.
Oh, I did. I saw every one of them.
And Tate still beats
all
of them? Every single one?
The Rooster had some interceptions back in the day that you're like, woof, woof. In fact, he threw a pick 6 against Georgia Tech in Atlanta in the game that I was at, and I predicted it before the snap. My dad still brings it up. We were on our own 5. And I was like, he's going to throw a pick 6. Watch this. It's
about the same part of the field.
I did. I was like, watch this dumbass. Here it comes. Here it comes. And he did it just like that. I'm like, yep, there it is. Knew that was coming. I didn't even stand up. The ball was snapped. I was like, touchdown, Georgia Tech. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Quincy Police Department is investigating a homicide on Live Oak Street that happened Tuesday night. QPD says 38-year-old Nathaniel Price was shot and killed in his home around 10 p.m. Police say Price and the person of interest knew each other in some way, but it's unclear how well. QPD has questioned the person of interest, but no arrests have been made in this case. What happened leading up to the homicide, as well as the motive behind it, are unclear at this point. For those concerned about high gas prices, the city of Tallahassee is coming with a new way to ride today. It's the Dump the Pump Day that offers free rides on Star Metro buses, encouraging people to use public transportation and leave their cars at home. The buses offer free Wi-Fi, and individuals can save on average over $10,000 a year per household by riding buses instead of using their cars. If you're not familiar with the bus routes, you can call an expert at 850-891-5200 or find out more at the Star Metro website. This is Rachel Lene with your World Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Slight chance for scattered storms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High of 99, winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Slight chance for scattered storms, 76. Highs around 100 tomorrow. Chance for scattered thunderstorms. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 93.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? It says keep off the grass.
Oh, but I just wanted to feel it.
Excuse me?
I wanted to feel what it was like to have an amazing lawn like you do. It always looks so good, even in the summertime. How do you do it, neighbor?
They're called lawn johns. They come once a week. Maybe you should give them a call so you can tell other people to stay off your lawn. How's that sound?
Ooh, yes. I would love to tell people to stay off my lawn. For the very best in lawn care, call the Lawn Johns at 850-322-2567. Stay off my lawn.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
We need to have history. We need to have literature. It deserves an explanation. We don't need to be promoting lifestyles that come into play for your average elementary school.
Well, I had an experience with this. When my daughter was in school, her teacher gave her a book to read, but then she asked me what the C word is.
That was in the book.
That was in the book.
Okay, so about the C word. So you're talking about conservatives, right?
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is the kind of fun and games you can have when you call down there and you ask to speak to Shannon, Hamilton Home Loans, Chad and Shannon, the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. You're going to want to do that. Makes your mortgage process far less intimidating, and it's a hell of an opportunity for you to get the best in the business working on your behalf. Cutting-edge technology, transparent communication. It's a 5-star mortgage experience. 2 Noles, die hard at that. You're getting those rates, you're getting their expertise, and you're talking about Florida State football. 844-FSU-LOAN, or you can find them online at FSUHomeLoans.com. Yeah, that's always a fun. You can always tell, too, when we do this, when we kind of reconvene, and what we end up having with Tom and me and Ira and Corey and Gene. We all get in there, and we start, and Aslan, and we start yelling at each other, and we look, and then we can go, oh, yeah. I see where you forgot so-and-so, and then you just threw his ass in there at 33. Yeah, that you can always tell where somebody did that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this is the first one I've done on my own. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, we would get together on the big board.
We put it on the big board.
And draw it out.
Big board.
That was always a fun day of the year because we would go down the hill to grab a craft brew or two, bring them back up, play some tunes, and then draw it up on the whiteboard. Draw it up on the whiteboard. That was a good time.
Good times indeed. Is that place still there?
Yeah. It's just not as it used to be.
It got too cleaned up.
Yeah.
I used to love it when it was a dive.
They gave it the one corner in the back by the bathroom.
Remember you and I used to sit back there and enjoy those old black and white cartoons that they would have running on a loop.
The violent, trippy ones.
Yeah, well, you had a cold beer, yeah.
They still, over there, it's like an homage to the past, but it's just very modern and cleaned up from there. It's unfortunate.
Where'd you have Cam McDonald?
Ooh.
We got to save some of these, so that would be the last time I ask you that.
27. Just by nature of the offense, he gets in a rhythm every once in a while with Jordan, and they could go 3-4 plays in a row. I think they did it in Boston College. But there's a time where you could see that this offense is just begging for a dude to be in that position. And maybe Jarrell Powers is going to be that guy, the kid that arrived on campus from the signing class this year. He looks the part, but that's an important position.
Yeah, it is. It is. I struggle with it because while I understand it's an important position, we just have had nobody to really expose and dominate in the middle of the field. And it's so frustrating.
If you have somebody who's above replacement level at that position, they're going to be top 12 or top 15 in our top 40 countdown.
Yeah. That's exactly right. I'm excited about Benson. I know we both have him really high there. I think he could be a big-time player for us this year. I was so impressed. When we talk about what we took away from spring and we eagerly anticipate the fall, you kind of get excited as you remind yourself of the things that you liked and didn't like and everything in between, some things you didn't know about. Some things are still mysteries, and that's all right because you don't have to solve everything in the spring. You do have the fall. But like one of the things that we got excited about almost every day was there was a play or a moment where you saw Benson with that size showcase speed. And you thought, oh man, that's a difference maker. We have not had we've had some solid players, but we haven't had huge difference makers in a while. And so I'm excited at running back. We've had guys that were solid.
He has the look to him too, and the attitude. When he first met the media, the newcomer series of interviews that FSU did back in the winter, he talked about how he can't wait to hit somebody. I thought, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's all right off the bat. Yeah.
And then you see the size and you think, man, if he could just run. And then you see the speed, and it all culminated with the spring game performance where you go, that's the total package of a player who has breakaway speed. He can get you a 3rd and 1.5 if you need it. And he wants to hit somebody. That's not always a combo that you find. Usually a guy has 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3 of those. He has all 3.
Yeah, and he's a much better athlete than Jason Corbin. So Corbin I liked, and he was a hard worker and a good player for us.
Plus player.
Yeah, he was a plus player. He wasn't a difference maker, but he was a plus player, and he ran hard. He really was dinged up a little too frequently in his time here, so he never got a chance to showcase it for long stretches at a time. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with us. It's Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
Sellers Tile does it better for business owners, contractors, designers, and homeowners. Better design ideas, better quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring, better mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions. And Sellers makes it easier with their amazing showroom and first-class professionals. Maybe it's time to get Sellers working for you on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com for better style, quality, and design. Go with Sellers in Tallahassee. Call 656-8453.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall. Featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The president vowed to make a pariah out of Saudi Arabia's ruling family, but critics worry they won't be held accountable. Greg Cluxton with that story.
The president has been criticized for his Saudi travel plans, given that U.S. intelligence concluded Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, known as MBS, orchestrated the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Mr. Biden says he plans to handle the issue as he always has.
I'm not going to meet with MBS. I'm going to an international meeting, and he's going to be part of it.
The president vowed to make a pariah out of Saudi Arabia's ruling party, but critics worry they won't be held accountable. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, talks on gun reform in the Senate are proving once again that the devil is in the details. Bob Agnew has more.
Just a few days ago, enough Republicans were on board with the basic framework of the bill. It appeared a final compromise could be passed by next week. Republicans still have concerns, however, about the wording of two key provisions. Money to be sent to states for red flag laws meant to ban gun ownership for those deemed a danger to themselves and others, and perhaps more so the boyfriend loophole. It would bar romantic partners convicted of domestic abuse from owning guns. Gun rights advocates worry about just how far the definition of a domestic partner could be applied. Bob Agnew reporting.
Police in Alabama say a 71-year-old man used a handgun to fatally shoot two elderly people and wound a third. It happened during a potluck dinner at a church. Police Captain Shane Ware did not identify the suspect in Thursday night's shooting at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Bastivia Hills, but he says the shooter occasionally attended services. An 84-year-old man and 75-year-old woman were killed. The Dow is ahead 76 points, the NASDAQ up 200. More at townhall.com.
Everybody, Mark Davis for Advantage Gold. Investing and protecting your retirement is a real challenge these days. Raging inflation, the hyper-volatile stock market. You don't have to sit and watch it all unfold. Thousands of retirees are safeguarding their retirements with physical precious metals like gold and silver inside their IRAs and 401ks. One company I trust for this, Advantage Gold, the #1 highest rated gold company on TrustLink 7 years in a row. For a free gold IRA investment kit, call Advantage Gold, 800-741-4653. Call 800-741-GOLD. Don't sit idly by while the stock market and inflation destroy your retirement savings. For a free gold IRA investment kit, call 800-741-4653. They'll answer all your questions, including if your current retirement account qualifies. Call 800-741-4653. Find out how easy it is to put precious metals in your IRA or 401k. Call 800-741-GOLD.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult your investment professional before investing.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
when you get the leaderboard gravity. It just pulls on these bums at the top. They just get pulled down. Get out of here. Hardy, Buckley, Neesmith, Harmon, Dahman, Taryn. Get the hell up out of here. Those guys are all there. They're all 3 under. You got a gazillion people at 3 under.
It's because they were all playing in the morning yesterday.
Mm-hmm. We're able to survive. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. McElroy is at 3 under. He's on number 2. And my man Lingworth just nailed a long putt. Stays in the top 10 there.
He got a clean card yesterday. One of the only, if not the only player to have no bogeys in the first round.
He has
out into the fescue green side. So he didn't handle the delay as well as it looked like he was going to.
Yeah, that's a toughie, man. These guys sometimes they do. That's a long time to wait, and some handle it better than others. Rahm's at -2 right now. Sneaky as we get ready to go to the weekend. If he gets in there at 2 or 3 under, look out. This could be a fun leaderboard. You could have McElroy, Scheffler, and Rahm going to war.
Yeah, and John yesterday was a shell of himself. For a pro and somebody of his caliber, shanked 4 or 5 approaches. I mean, they're 15 yards short and 15 yards to the right. They kept on calling it a wipe miss on the broadcast. And yet he found a way to shoot in the red figures. That's a scary deal because he seems to be very at peace with where he is. He's in a good place mentally.
Well, I love his game, and he's also emerged as a great leader for the PGA Tour and for his cohorts there on the tour. Is that putt going in? It is not. Sorry.
For whom?
Rahm. From distance.
Rory shot from the fescue, went 6 inches. He'll be trying again.
Okay, don't do this. We can't do this. Damn it, man. Now I'm going to get all frustrated watching. No, they're cutting it. I'm behind you. I've got it on here.
Behind you.
I'm behind you. I'm looking at Rory's fescue shot that went straight up. He's in the course, Tom.
Unfortunately, there's nowhere to take relief.
No.
So it's a very lonely feeling for the Northern Irishman.
This is a toughie. He'll be falling back unless he holds this. But that said, we congratulated to start the show. First of all, the dads out there. I understand. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's the best thing. Also, congratulations to Golden State. That is 4. That is 4. And Steph gets his MVP of the finals. Again, he was already in a very unique category of superstar players. I didn't think in my lifetime you'd watch a guard of his stature kind of be a transcendent player. You just didn't believe that anybody could shoot the ball that well. The other part of it is he is now going to influence like a radical shift in basketball for when you're in your 40s and I'm in my 60s.
Dude's going to be making 45-footers like nothing.
On the regular because he's influenced. It's just like the generation of golfers that were influenced by Tiger. Like now you look out on the golf course and the vast majority of these guys are in shape. And they maintain fitness and they understand the importance of it. They all hit it a mile, all that stuff, right? Tiger did that. That was the Tiger Woods effect. And Rory, by the way, is a direct descendant of that. The famous Nike commercial where he's a little kid imitating Tiger's swing when Tiger wins at Augusta. Did he do it again?
His second shot from the gorse went right under the ball. He'll be trying again.
Oh.
We are witnessing a very rough circumstance here, sir.
My man is falling off a cliff. Get it together, Rory.
Over under the bunker for the next one. That's what I'm saying.
Just get in the bunker. You can hit a bunker shot. He's really good from the bunker. Get out of this nonsense. Oh, now I'm seeing it, Tom. Oh, he's out. He's out. He's on the green. All right.
He's got a 25-footer for double. This concludes the pseudo play-by-play.
So what he has to end up being here is what? Even par when this is all done, if he can be, and then just let's fight like hell.
That's right.
Because listen, at every U.S. Open, you are going to have a set of circumstances, not unlike the one we're witnessing right here, in which you have a double or a triple, and you've got to fight like hell to stay around. And guys who win this thing look back on it and always invariably go, well, it was the Friday round where I fought like hell to shoot 2 over. And I stayed within 5 strokes of the lead and it gave me a chance on the weekend. And then I really got hot on Saturday and put myself in a position. You always hear that. That's just the same conversation after every U.S. Open because usually the number is somewhere around par. So you're just fighting like hell. And I have a sneaky suspicion that this -3 or any, because you got guys in the clubhouse now with -3. Scheffler's in the clubhouse at -3. Hardy is whatever. He's in the clubhouse at -3. He won't be there on Sunday, but
he might be. He'll just fire an 82.
But anyhow, that number is a hell of a number to get into the clubhouse with. To be able to get in, Scheffler's sitting in the catbird seat right now, especially given his pedigree, given how good he's been. Think about a guy who's outside the top 10 in the world, wins 4 times in 11 tournaments, including the Masters, and becomes #1 in the world. Like, imagine how transformative and how crazy that is.
Yeah, and doubting his existence as a professional player before the Masters on a Sunday, winning that tournament, and then believing. Like, you've gone, it's not just transformative in the rankings or your value as an entity as a spokesman.
Or your bank account.
Right. It's now I know.
Yeah.
I know for a fact. It all started with beating John Rahm heads up in the Ryder Cup last year when Rahm could not be beat. And it just continued on, and he just lost in the playoff a couple of weeks ago. So it's not like he's out of form.
Every week. He's always like, you're pretty much, it's crazy. And when you look at the strokes gain stats and the things like that, it's all of his game. It's across, like, he's just good everywhere. You're kind of like, oh, okay, you're gonna be that guy, are you?
You know who petered out today? Cam Smith.
You fall off a cliff?
Oh, it's I don't know what he finished at. It's probably +7 or +8, but he's done. He broke his lob wedge on the back 9. He was so frustrated. That's where he went.
Okay. By the way, I've got a theory, and it's going to be very interesting to watch this play out. It's a human interest thing. These guys, some of these guys, Davis Riley, good young player, beautiful swing. Okay, Cam Smith, who's been really, really good, obviously. Guys like that, they're being pushed hard by Liv. Liv's trying to get those guys. And I'm telling you, I think it's a terrible distraction for them. I don't think those guys are going to play well. I think they're going to struggle with this. They saw that backlash. Phil is a ghost up there. He is off staring in the distance. He's +14 or whatever the hell he is. I mean, at one point today, Phil was in last place in the tournament. You live your truth, buddy. Anyhow, so there's that.
Well, remember the British guy years ago. He was a writer for whatever publication over there.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the desk at Fox because Fox had the USGA, and this is when Phil walked up before the ball was not done moving, and he hit it again. And he said he's what we would call in Britain an ass. He was being an ass, and everybody's like, "Whoa!" They left the interview as quickly as they possibly could. But now it just resonates. That guy is saying, "I am vindicated. I am vindicated, world."
Yeah, sure. I there's no doubt. And he made a fool of himself and then now has played terribly. And that's not shocking. I mean, there you go. But it is fascinating. Okay. So we'll come back to this, and there's your update. I want to get back to what I was talking about with Florida State here in a second.
There's a smidge of a footnote. Rory did bury the 25-footer for double. So he's at 1 under.
That's a big make.
That is. And there was no celebration. He was like, that went in.
That's a really big make, man.
Yeah. If he wins the tournament, you're going to look at that right there, that sequence.
Yeah, man. Some of these guys, they get into situations where you're watching this and you're going, I don't think I'd get out. Look at Sam Burns kicking ass again. I would just be like, I'm not real sure I'm ever going to get out of here.
I've been in the Gorse in England.
You did that. I was just about to ask you. You played over there, and
so first of all,
can you get what did you do?
You can't find it half the time. You just drop. You just drop.
Then they're lucky because the tournament, there's people trampling them down. You've got officials running over to spot the ball.
After about my 4th attempt in the Gorse,
find the ball.
The rental sets over there were, I don't know, maybe they were sized to English, whatever.
Yeah.
But I did get up and down greenside once from the Gorse, and that will come with me wherever I go. I've done it once, but otherwise, you don't wear shorts if you're playing on a course with.
Because cut your legs when you get in there.
My legs were beat to crap. Yeah, by the end of the round, it was bad.
I saw where Michael Langston posted on warchant.com that we had 3 new commitments. We've talked about these guys before, right? More visitors. There's an uptick in enthusiasm.
They're doing what they can
around football recruiting.
This is what we talked about yesterday. You got to set the table. You can't
build relationships.
There's nothing that can happen right now that's definitively good, but you can set the table for really good things to happen.
By the way, the Tifase kid that committed to us, the defensive tackle that's so big, I asked around a little bit. That's an exciting get for them. They feel very good about that.
They wanted him. Again, they had 2 true freshmen on campus because he's reclassifying to join the same group as Daniel Lyons and Bishop Thomas.
Right. He's just going to go to school. And
of course,
he can't play football for us this year.
But I know you can't have enough trench monsters. On either side, you can't have enough.
No.
But if this kid wasn't like more than a UConn offer or a Virginia Tech offer would suggest, you don't have to take him.
But Arkansas wanted him too. So that's
Arkansas did.
That's a good get.
But that's what I'm saying is they didn't have to really go all in on this kid, but they did for a reason. And they're hitting well at that position right now.
What do we know of Jaden Jones, the community college defensive end? I know, he was a 3-star prospect, 6'6", 250 pounds. I am intrigued by 6'6", 250.
It's a great, honestly, I know about some recruits. This would be a Michael question.
Well,
I don't know enough about him.
I'll tell you what I do know, and I read Michael's article, so it's helped. So I'm just going to tell you that right now. Credit goes to you, Michael Langston. But I know that Mizzou offered him. I know that Houston offered him. And by the way, Houston's pretty good. So, that's, again, we're not exactly beating out Alabama for this guy. But you did beat out an SEC school, and you did beat out a Houston team that's pretty decent.
That's the 23 kid that committed last weekend?
Yeah, 6'6", 250. Like I said, that's a junior college kid. So
I just remember reading up on him maybe 2 or 3 separate times, meaning just going to our website, and saying, all right, a JUCO? We're adding one for this year? And every time I get to the next graph is the 2023 prospect. I'm like, oh, well, we'll figure it out later.
Got a 3-star, 6'2" wide receiver who verbaled as well. I guess he's an athlete, defensive back, I should say. But we'll see what he is. He's an athlete. But that's the Jones kid. Quindarius Jones, I believe is his name, which, by the way, I just love that name. He ought to be a superstar. Sometimes you get names and you're like, that guy, there you go.
You pause in your tracks.
Well, you just sitting around
Azaria
talking.
Thomas. Come on.
Azaria Thomas is a great name. Sam McCall's a good name, too. Both those guys got good names for stardom. And I think Quindarius Jones is a great name. If we're sitting around and we're watching a preview for a game, and they're like, and don't forget about super sophomore Quindarius Jones. Quindarius Jones, you'd be like, yeah, he's a good player. I heard him talk about
Tatum Bethune.
Oh, great name. Great name.
It's a good position for Tatum Bethune to play.
I just love that. This is what we're having. We would have done this if we were in tip-top shape or not. We'd celebrate certain names if we were a top 5 program or outside the top 25.
Oh, man, Jalen Ramsey?
Oh, yeah.
What a name.
Oh, we loved it. We loved it as soon as we heard it. And then he was an ass to go with it.
Indeed.
And revealed it within seconds of being here.
He got thrown out of practice, 10 practices in?
It is so rare that a guy is a superstar in the making, shows up, looks like he is indeed going to be a superstar in the making in his first practice, has all of us thinking, my goodness, he might play this year, then reveals that he's a bit of an arrogant ass, and then is every one of those things that your first impression thought he was.
But he was the arrogant ass you needed if we just listened to him more in that freshman season.
I don't want people to get it wrong. I loved it.
He called us out. He said, we're practicing like a bunch of chumps.
Yeah, well, he was furious. Yeah, and he's...
The Jimbo response to you with, oh, he'll big time you now, is so great, because who big times more than Jimbo when it comes to doing circuits and events that are very important for a head coach to do?
So people may not know what you're talking about, but I was talking to him about Jalen Ramsey one time, and early when Ramsey had gotten here and was, already established himself as a star. And Jimbo,
because he got thrown out of fan day practice.
Yeah, he got
Think about that.
He got thrown out of fan day practice. And Jimbo says to me off the record, which enough time has passed, and they've both gone on and done well for themselves. But Jimbo's like, oh, he'll big time you now. He'll big time you. Which makes me laugh because it means that Jalen big time Jimbo.
You sassy bitch.
The fact that Jimbo's trying to talk to him and Jalen just ignores him.
Yeah.
And keeps walking. Oh, he'll big time you now. He'll do it.
Right.
Every time.
And he would, right. He wouldn't say that if it happened once. That means that there are several attempts to reach out to Jalen.
It just makes me laugh, by the way. I'm still laughing. Where I'm picturing the moment that Jimbo realizes that Jalen Ramsey's the kind of talent that you just have to ignore when he blatantly disrespects you in front of everybody else.
Now, Jalen, I say at 9 o'clock in my office, you'll be there at 9:30 today, right? Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's 9:42. He's done it again.
He's not here. I knew he wouldn't be here. Never is. What am I going to do?
He's big time.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start him on Saturday. That's what I'm going to do. He'll big time you now. That's what he'll do.
Sassy bitch.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Taste Buds Radio. Welcome back to Taste Buds Radio. Slow food done fast. Let's go to the phone.
Hi, Taste Buds. I've got no time to make dinner, but I don't want to bring home another bag of droopy burgers. Got anything for me?
Don't worry, the Taste Buds have got you covered. Go to our website, tastebuds.net. That's Taste Buds with a Z. And check out our daily specials. You can order food for the entire week. Take it home when you're ready, heat it up, and you're feeding your family slow food fast.
That's awesome. Thanks, Taste Buds.
Let's take another call.
Hey, y'all got any of them there gift certificates?
Of course. You can purchase in store or on our website at tastebuds.net. That's Taste Buds with a Z. And they're available in any amount.
Well, all right. Thanks, Taste Buds.
Taste Buds, a part of your balanced peace of mind. Taste Buds Radio. Tastebuds.net.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mandlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Refreshing and simple. 2 words you don't hear many people use to describe their experience going through the process of getting a home loan. That's what puts the Hamilton Home Loans experience in a category all their own. If you're buying or refinancing a home, Hamilton Home Loans will provide a personalized mortgage experience that is dedicated to making the process refreshingly simple. It all begins with an initial consultation with an experienced Hamilton Home Loans advisor to find out what your goals are in order to find the right mortgage to suit your specific needs. Then, your personal home loan advisor will take you through all the steps from application, underwriting, approval, and closing, all the way to the front steps of your new home. Once you've experienced the Hamilton Home Loan process, you can be a customer for life and never have to pay lender fees again. For first responders, nurses, physician assistants, teachers, active and retired military, ask about the Hamilton for Heroes program. Personalized attention with your needs put first. Now that's refreshingly simple. Find out more at HamiltonHomeLoans.com. That's HamiltonHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 200719.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
They're visiting? What? Are they that age already? Is that accurate?
Some of them are, I'm sure.
Man. That's a... Well done, live spectator. Yes, that's Walter gives him the ringer is right. That's the all-time.
Couldn't we have like half of our defense at one point be Cromartie's?
I'd love it. Man, what a baller he was. I remember him in high school. He was an all-world player at Lincoln. I mean, it's crazy.
When I was a freshman here, that was the year I think that he missed because of injury.
Yeah. It was infuriating. And then once he got hurt, you're like, well, we'll never see him again. He's just going to enter the NFL draft because everybody knows what a freak he is. That's how good he was. Think about that. You missed the year, and you're like, I'm going to the draft. Okay. That's what we're doing around here. Yeah, that's amazing. He was an unbelievable player and prolific off the field as well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We could have a linebacker, Cromartie, a defensive tackle.
One can hope.
A safety, a corner.
We're off and running out in Omaha. Oklahoma leading Texas A&M 1-0, bottom of the first.
You know, when they join the conference, if you count them as SEC members.
It is so weird to say out loud, Oklahoma versus Texas A&M is going to be an SEC matchup.
Yeah, because it'd be 6 out of 8 teams in Omaha right now will be from
when they join the conference. Yeah.
It's Stanford and Notre Dame, the only outliers.
Yeah, Notre Dame in Texas play tonight.
Go Horns.
7:00.
Move it along. Let's move the process along.
You just wanted on the line, which is dotted.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Yeah, you just wanted on
every
the line.
Win costs us another $50,000 at minimum.
I don't think so. I don't think it does. I think there's a ceiling here. He's a baseball coach. It's not football. I think. I mean, I think we're gonna have to pay him $1 million or something close to it.
It just, the sooner it happens, the better it looks for the athletic department. Because let's say they go to the second weekend, they're in the winner's bracket after a victory tonight, so they're guaranteed another week there. And then something crazy happens that's unforeseen, and he takes a job at, Georgia, you know what I mean? Wherever it is.
Michigan, who just lost their coach.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, well, he can recruit to our part of the country. Look, clearly.
Yeah.
And then it's just, you don't look as strong as an athletic department. We need to project strength. And we're doing a good job of putting ourselves in position to project strength.
I think we are projecting strength right now. No, I'm intrigued. I don't think we're just such a wounded, injured fan base.
Yeah,
we just are. I mean, the writing's on the wall here. My man is coming to Florida State. I mean, the writing's on the wall here.
Oh, breaking news? You reporting it?
No.
Okay.
Look, he hasn't called me from Omaha and said I'm coming to Florida State to take over my alma mater. He hadn't done that. But, I mean, golly, the Clemson thing had me slightly worried because they had decided to throw their hat in the ring and care about baseball.
That'd be a tough one for him to say yes to, though.
I would think. I thought that, too. But, money's money. So, I mean, I did think, well, what if they decide to pay some astronomical sum? And then you're like, well, hell, man. Because I will say this, and I think it's important to note this. I would like Link Jarrett to be the next head coach at Florida State. Sure, I would. A lot of good baseball coaches out there. It's not the end of the world if Link Jarrett isn't. This isn't, if we don't get him, we have failed. I do think it's ideal. I do think that's who they're going after. I do think that's who they're going to get. But I would tell you this, if my man has some crazy-ass demands, I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about this. I mean, like if he tells you he wants $1.7 million
and a new stadium in 5 years,
have a good day, dude. No, I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, the thing is, though, whatever the coach decision is, whoever signs the contract, it matters to me what the price tag is. Because I want to be able to think that when we're making our next basketball hire, or if we have to make a move in football, that we can advance our own expectations.
Sure.
Because let's just say it's 1.2. I don't know what it is, but let's say the final figure is 1.2 over 3 or 4 years guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that give you confidence that the basketball program is not dead in the water right now?
Maybe.
When Leonard's time is done?
A lot of that's going to depend, Tom, in my opinion, on what they're prioritizing at that time and where are we for football. Where are we at? Has this thing settled down? Is our head coach solidified? Not going anywhere? Signed to a long-term deal? Florida State's healing itself, getting better. We're everything is secure. If that's the case, then it'll be interesting. If we're a mess and we're maybe on the verge of having to make a change, I think basketball is going to suffer because I don't think they're going to. really be all that worried about basketball at that point if they're having to break the bank to bring somebody in here for football.
But I'm a few months removed from saying that would be the case for soccer's replacement, or for if Lonnie gets a bid from another school, or if, Meet's in a situation where it's not great, you'd keep him for another year. Like I would have thought, given where football is right now, which is unproven in this regime, that they would save every penny available to them for doomsday. And they're not. They're doubling down on these other sports. And that's encouraging.
The only thing that you have to worry about right now, I think, and I jokingly just said a moment ago that Link Jarrett could be linked to Michigan. I mean, in theory, they could, right? They could go after the guy at Notre Dame. They just lost a coach that did a really good job there. And they have won at Michigan. They've now won. They've been the Big Ten school that can win, in baseball. So I suppose Michigan could offer them a crazy sum, and then maybe you'd be in trouble. But the one that if there are a bunch of other schools that are, I guess you would say, I shouldn't say a bunch of other schools. There are about a handful of schools that are a possibility. Florida State, high on that list. Michigan, high on that list. Washington, I know, has an opening. I don't think he's going to Washington. Who's on that list? Southern Cal.
Yeah.
Well, that's a prestigious place to play college baseball. They have a rich history. It is in California, and he's not a California guy.
West Coast baseball connections are different, right?
Very different, right? I don't think that's who but if they did, buddy, Southern Cal has decided they are all in on everything. So you could get held hostage there. You could. And that's what I mean. If USC says to Link Jarrett, we're going to give you $2 million, good luck. Congratulations, Link. Right, You're the next head coach at USC. Because I'm not doing that for baseball.
Take a look at the tax implications of the $2 million.
Right.
City and state versus no state of Florida.
I don't think he wants to go there. I do. I think that he probably wants to come here. Who wouldn't, in the sense that this is where he played. It's where he grew up. It's the program he loved before he was ever a player here.
And he'll be a head coach where we don't have to talk about the same three things. Hooray.
I know you've been rooting for that for a long time.
Since I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
I'm 35.
I'm in agreement with you there, buddy. I'm in agreement with you there. I was thinking of the first time that I went to a sporting event with my father for the Father's Day show here, if you will. At least I've alluded to it. What was the first sporting event you went to with your dad? Well, how about the first sporting event that still means something to you and that you remember vividly?
That's a really good question. I think it might have been going to Mets Devil Rays at Tropicana Field. We got him out to go to that game because he wasn't big on baseball after the strike. But he went with me to Mets Devil Rays, and that was cool. And then there was a slew of hockey after that. That means the world.
Yeah,
but the first one was probably a baseball game.
Probably a baseball game?
Yeah.
My first was a baseball game, too, surprisingly. A lot of people think it's when I was really, really, really young and we came up here to Florida State games, and we did. But my first foray into professional sports or any kind of organized going into a stadium, big moment that I can remember very specifically, my dad was visiting an old Army buddy in Detroit, and we went to Old Tiger Stadium to see the Tigers and the White Sox. And Chet Lemon hit a home run and went barely over our head. And I'll never forget that. And that Old Tiger Stadium had the lights, those big lights. You've seen that old stadium where Cecil Fielder hit so many home runs. And I can still remember thinking it was larger than life, man. Walking in there with him. I remember driving to the stadium. This is funny. My dad's Army buddy's driving. Now, I'm really young, so I didn't really realize that my dad was boozing in the passenger seat. Now, discreetly, he had like a thermos. And the reason I now know this is that the Army buddy who he hadn't seen in years.
Why does it still smell like gasoline in the car, Dad?
No, what I still remember is that we got close to that stadium and the Army buddy says to my dad, "Don't worry, Jim. There's a spot up here I always stop for this very thing." Like he knew that because they tailgated. They always used to tailgate for the Tigers games. And or his Army buddy did. And so because my dad was like, "Hey, we need to pull over, Steve. We need to pull over." Steve's like, I got you. It's coming up right up here. It's a good spot. As a little kid, I was just like, I don't know why my dad's drinking so much coffee. It's late. And then we went into the stadium and he was holding my hand. I can still remember the lights, man, being blown away. Blown away.
Yeah, I wasn't with my dad for my first Major League Baseball game at Shea. That was my sister and I went. It was a vacation to go see extended family. But I'll tell you the thing that was most special to me growing up with my dad, and it's why the British Open means so much to me, was we would watch that in the mornings and the weekend. And you're asking, why can I remember Roca and the Valley of Sin? Because I remember distinctly sitting with my dad. We would just get up so early and make breakfast and watch what was the final round. And same thing for the Ryder Cup when they would go to Europe. He loved morning sports. And he said, it's never over. And I'm like, Dad, there's no way Roca's going to make this. And he goes, if he doesn't believe he's going to, he can't. So you have to believe. And it went in. It was just the coolest thing. Now, of course, the odds are astronomical of that going in.
Sure.
But if you don't believe it's going to happen, it can't. And I just remember that lesson sinking in. And I remember exactly where I was. I could smell the room. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, those memories. And I've talked about all the times. My parents were divorced, and I had some weekends where I'd stay with my dad. Others where I was with my mom and my stepdad. Anyhow, when I can remember going to visit my dad, and I would get so excited because usually he'd pick me up or I'd get dropped off on like a Thursday and stay through Sunday. And we would watch college football. It was college football season. I can still remember. And back in those days, like, you pretty much were going to see Michigan or Notre Dame. Like they were on every weekend, you'd get Southern Cal and you'd get a few others. But I remember the fight songs because I love Notre Dame and Michigan's fight song, which sound almost exactly alike, but I love them. I do. And I can remember the dun, 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 and I would sit in front of the TV.
Go Irish.
And, dun, 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 and I loved it. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And my dad would crack up laughing. He's like, those are cool fight songs, aren't they? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I agree. Those are good. Those are good. And even though he's, diehard FSU, he's like, those are good. It's good fight songs. There aren't too many. Southern Cal's got a good one too. When they do their thing too, it's pretty good. It's good. That's fun when you hear that. When they're good and you hear that, you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when they play Michigan or something, or anytime that they've played Oklahoma or Texas, like all those, you hear those things, you're like, oh, this is so old school, fun stuff. Yeah. And then of course there's us. I remember coming to Doak Campbell and I wasn't even double digits yet, and going into the stadium when it was the Erector set. And of course, back in the day, everybody remembers Saturday nights at Doak. Florida State largely, as they were building towards a dynasty and towards college football royalty, those Saturday nights at Doak were special, man. And it was loud, and I remember kind of raucous and fun. And I remember going to those games with my dad, and we would tailgate off of is that Chapel? Right off of Chapel. Yeah, the only thing over there was the church. Those
with the big hill.
With the big hill.
Yes, that's where we used to play slosh ball.
Yeah.
Oh man, head kickball and slosh ball.
Yeah, we'd go over there. The only thing over there was the big church. You had the big hill. The apartments weren't there yet. Spanish Town apartments, which are no longer called Spanish Town apartments, whatever they're called now. They were called something else when they were first built. I can remember that. I remember thinking, oh man, they're gonna take away our tailgating place. I loved it.
One of the greatest athletic collegiate performances of all time. This guy right here. It was a game of slosh ball, and bases loaded, nobody out. For you kids out there, it's wiffle ball with beer and kegs.
And it's awesome.
And it's a triple play automatically if you can catch the wiffle ball in your cup. 2 separate times, bases loaded, nobody out. Your boy ran down a fly ball deep into the alley and caught it in the cup.
Made that play.
For the inning-ending triple play.
Did you yell, suck it, as you did it?
I came back, and my friend from high school was, when did you turn into an athlete? I'm like, all I needed was a little bit of natty. Who knew?
I need a little good courage. I had to get it done. Now, see, we need to stop this. I see where John Rahm's at -3. That's awesome. Good for you, John Rahm. But Joel Dahman and Caleb Taryn do not need to be leading the U.S. Open going into the weekend. Get the hell up out of here with this.
They can allow them to be the final pair tomorrow, and that's just a tire fire. And then you got Scheffler and Rahm in the second to last pairing.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's true. I just glanced over there. I'm like, what? Joel Dahman and
it's Damon.
Colin Damon, whatever the hell.
You'll learn when he wins this major.
No, he's not going to. He's not. By the way, Morikawa's right there at -3 too right now. So okay. Let's see you, Morikawa. Came into this tournament in terrible form. All of a sudden, he's at 3 under. I don't have him on my roster.
I played him. I'm very happy about that
decision.
decision.
Blow up in the second half here. He's not going to be there for you when you need him most. I see a +7 in his future.
This show should be at a bar, tabletop right now, just watching the U.S. Open.
It should be us betting.
Live commentary and wagers. Yeah.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show. There's Joel. He does wear the bucket hat. I do like that. 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says suspects shot at deputies as they were following up on an ongoing investigation at a house on Chestnut Street Thursday afternoon in Monticello. The deputies got out of the car as the suspects fired 2 or 3 shots at the deputies and then ran away from the scene. One of the shots hit a police car, but no deputies were injured. The Sheriff's Office is actively looking for the suspects now. The Leon County Commissioner is calling for a baseline $15 minimum wage for all county employees. District 1 Commissioner Bill Proctor said he is also seeking a 5% pay increase for all non-administrative county workers. Proctor said the proposal is his way of looking out for the county workers and thanking them for their work throughout the pandemic. Proctor said he intends to bring up the proposal at the next commission meeting with the hope of it going into effect this year. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MaclemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory continues until 8 p.m. tonight. Slight chance for scattered storms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High of 99, winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Slight chance for scattered storms, 76. Highs around 100 tomorrow. Chance for scattered thunderstorms. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 93.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
There's a TikTok that's going viral because of a butter softening method. They are putting the Vermont Creamery butter in the waistband of her pants. Give it 5 minutes. You can go and measure out your ingredients, and then your butter is ready to go. You cannot do this in Florida.
No.
Because your pants will be full of butter in 2 minutes. Somebody try it. Post on TikTok.
Unless it says juicy across the back.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
You need to go, if you're going to think about getting some solar panels for your roof, go see my man at T-Spark Enterprise. Of course, you know that Enterprises and construction, roofing and construction. It's not just that they're great at it and he's qualified for it and certified, more importantly. It's that they do great work consistently, and I've used them, not just for that, but my roof, obviously, and I think, again, I'm probably going to have them adding on to the house here in the not too distant future. So
this is the time where you got to eat a bunch every night if you're working at T-Spark with the heat advisories, but they're so good at it. They're pros.
Yeah, and they do everything, commercial tenant build outs. They've got the most reliable employees because, again, that's a drug-free environment that they insist upon, and they work really hard. They get these guys as employees. They're not just independent contractors. They're employees. There's a standard that they hold them to. So T-Spark Roofing and Construction. Jeff and Tom, can we get a weekly Where in the World is Destin Hill segment and get it sponsored? No. Is he? So Michael sounded encouraged. When I did on Sunday, I did was it this past week that I did it? Or was it the week before? I can't remember. Sunday.
It was this past Sunday.
Yeah. We did.
It's been a long week.
We did the Sunday Smash. It has been a long week. We did the Sunday Smash, and Michael Langston was encouraged. And you told me during the break, all jokes aside here, you told me during the break that you were very encouraged by what we continued to hear.
About Winston Wright.
Winston Wright.
I was like, about Destin? I was like, man, ain't no fictions. I have no idea what's going to happen with Destin Hill.
No. We were talking about Winston Wright. And,
yeah, I mean, it points to him playing at least 4 or 5 games. I'm thinking this is my own interpretation of the continued good progress that he's making. September might be a bridge too far. Maybe not. His camp is certainly approaching it like he's going to be able to play by LSU. But you get a half a season out of that guy. He's got a full year of eligibility behind it. If he doesn't do enough, he comes back. I mean, you're in a great place here. Both sides are.
That's the part that, I always lose sight of, that he can come back. He can come back.
So can Tatum Bethune.
I don't think he is.
He's not aiming to, but what if he has just a very good season and not a great season?
I have a feeling he's going to have a very good season, and I also think that not only is he going to have a good season, I think he's going to be a big difference maker for Florida State, because they haven't had a difference maker at linebacker in a long time, and Deloach got a lot better last year. When those two guys on the field, it's actually a position of strength. We go from being a minus unit to a plus. I'm really excited. I think there's
I'm not quite as bullish, but I think they're at least an average to maybe a slightly above average group. I just want to see how they do in coverage. I don't know that our practices is the best way to determine how good your linebackers are in coverage.
Yeah, no doubt. I will also note that they've got a bit of an attitude, those two. And linebacker, more than any other position, you really do have to be a little cuckoo. That is a collision sport, and that is an area where you have to be willing to come in and stick your head in there. And we haven't had guys for a while, I don't think, consistently.
It's slowly flipping. I like what I see out of Omar Graham Jr. for the future. That's good. Gainer's gotten better. I don't know how many snaps that means. 10% of the snaps, 20% of the snaps, but he's gotten better to be in the rotation. You still need more recruits on the way, but it's not a laughing stock position group anymore, which is nice.
I know collectively the fan base is very discouraged by where we're at from a recruiting standpoint, just in the rankings. I was reading this morning, I saw where Craig Hobart from ESPN posted a ESPN Plus article on recruiting. And I know that, you can obviously look at rivals, you can look at wherever you want to look. But I was just going through trying to see where they were, and I saw that Notre Dame had the number 1 class. Marcus Freeman is doing some things. Were you aware of that?
I had no idea. No.
Yeah, number 1.
I don't look at the top of the recruiting board anymore.
It hurts your feelings, doesn't it? Georgia was at 2, Ohio State. Then there's this, that can't be right. You start looking at some things. I was like, wait a minute. There's no way. What is going on at Texas Tech?
Where?
Joey McGuire, ever heard of him?
No.
Has been known as a strong recruiter and brings a high-energy style to the Red Raiders. Now with a full cycle to work, this is a team to watch in recruiting. The foundation of this class is built on in-state talent, including quarterback Jake Strong, a passer who is committed to improve throughout his high school career and has a good arm strength and accuracy. Jordan can be a sound tackler in the secondary. They have a 4-star quarterback in Calvin Simpson-Hunt. They got an edge defender in Isaiah Crawford. They're basically promoting them as the 2023 class top 10. What are we doing here? Texas Tech.
That'll change with NIL at the 11th hour, right? Isn't that how we have to approach these things? Even if they were committed all season, Texas is going to jump in, or A&M is going to jump in and poach the 2 or 3 that they want.
Now, again, it's 2023. You're looking ahead here, way outside.
It's not that far though. It's only 6 months to signing day. That's the weird part. They got to fix that. The December signing day thing sucks.
Arkansas is well thought of in recruiting right now. Cincinnati's well thought of in recruiting. Cincinnati.
They're backing it up.
Got a good coach.
They're going to the Big 12, whatever that means.
It's fascinating. I mean, you go through this, you'll see some names. Now, they got Florida State at 20. He does.
Keep climbing.
And the Parson and Keith Sampson, that's what they're pointing to.
Let's see if Parson even is a part of the class.
I was going to say, yeah. It is. Scheffler and Rahm and Morikawa, the big names there atop the leaderboard behind this chap, Taryn, that nobody's ever heard of. So that continues to be an interesting leaderboard there.
Rory's one off the pace of the big names.
He's at 2. Okay,
yeah.
So
it was a tap in birdie.
Salvaged himself there. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can attack the par 5s here and score, and then just try to play the rest even, and you're fine. I mean, it's easier said than done. But that guy's driver is in the last 5 U.S. Opens, we saw it. He's gained over 4 strokes on the next group of 3, the best 3 in the field. I mean, that's how much better he's been.
Doesn't look like JT is going to compete this weekend. He fired a 72. He's already done for the day, which there was some hope yesterday watching the
Well, is that put him at +2 for the tournament?
Still
+2.
There's a lot of bodies you got to jump, and I don't know that a 65 is out there to go make the move you're going to need to make. You probably need to be around 1 over to 1 under today to be able to really threaten.
Yeah, I say this: if he is somewhere in the neighborhood of within 4 strokes going into a Sunday, I mean, we saw him come back from 7 strokes. I know it's a very different course, but he has that in him to go out and put a low number on the board if it's out there. So it could be fascinating. It's better if he is in it. I will say that. Let's get to some probables here. We'll just keep it rolling and have some fun with it while we can. I'm not going to start launch into a whole new thing here.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching probables?
Phillies, Nats, they're in the 5th. It's 4-1 Philadelphia. Rangers, Suarez. Joan Adone.
Footnote, that's my mistake. JT shot 1 under yesterday, so he's in the thick of it.
Yeah.
He's at 1 over for the championship.
Yeah, he's good. Braves, Cubs, they're in the 2nd. Nothing. Charlotte Morton. Keegan Thompson. Rays, Orioles, Shane Baez, Dean Creamer. Brewers, Reds, Eric Lauer, Hunter Green. We got the Phillies and the Nats, game 2. Is that right? Bailey Falter and Paolo Espino. Giants, Pirates. Hey, how about that? On Father's Day weekend, my Pirates are playing the Giants. Carlos Rodon and Zach Thompson. Go Buccos. Yankees, Blue Jays, Jordan Montgomery and Ross Stripling. Cardinals, Red Sox, Adam Wainwright, Michael Wacha. Rangers, Tigers, John Gray, Tariq Skubal. Marlins don't know who they're going to start, but the Mets said, we're starting Carlos Carrasco.
Get you some.
That's what we're doing. He's 7-2 with a 3.93. White Sox, Astros, Lucas Giolito and Framber Valdez. Padres, Rockies, Mackenzie Gore and Kyle Freeland. Royals, A's, TBD and Frankie Montas. Twins, D-backs, Devin Smeltzer and Madison Bumgarner. Guardians, Dodgers, Zach Plesac, Clayton Kershaw. Have you noted? What do you think Clayton Kershaw's at this year? You got to guess where Clayton Kershaw is?
ERA?
Yeah, just record ERA.
6-1 with a 2.72.
That's a really good guess. He's 4-1 with a 2.12.
All right.
Not bad. Angels, Mariners, Michael Lorenzen, Robbie Ray.
Hey!
And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Well, good luck to you tomorrow with the 112-degree heat index as you compete in the MGA. That is, whew.
Yeah, it's the FU Open is what we call it.
A lot of water.
And that's FU heat.
A lot of water, man. A little noon tea time. Hurt your feelings.
Yeah, that's the first group
Guys
off.
couldn't get out there at 8 a.m. What are we doing?
No, apparently not. I will tell you, I just don't want to fall off a cliff tomorrow like Victor Hovland did today.
Good. I don't have it, Victor.
Second round, 77.
Woo!
Oh, buddy. 7 over for the championship,
Woo!
And that's where he will remain. That cut's not moving to 7.
What is that cut?
Right now, it is at 4.
Okay.
Well, 4 is in, 5 is out. So I guess I'd make it 5.
Who you like? We'll reconvene. Who do you like?
You got to keep an eye out for Brooksy. He had a good round today. He shot 67, so he's at even for the tournament. I'd say though, John Rahm is my leader in the clubhouse. That dude is. If he played 1 under golf awfully yesterday, I don't think he's going to play that bad the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I think we got a real chance to see the creme de la creme here, man. We could have a Sunday that features Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, Justin Thomas. Oh man, Morikawa maybe. I'm telling you, he's going to fall off though. Yeah, he's off a cliff for you, buddy. No chance.
He's 200 today. He's on the back, the tougher side.
He's really smoke and mirrors out here for Colin Morikawa. He can't tell if he's hitting a cut or a draw. He doesn't know. Just kind of aiming in the general area, hoping. Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner 8, Texas A&M nothing in the second inning. Out in Omaha, my goodness gracious. Get you some of that, Texas A&M.
I don't cheat and I don't lie.
Notre Dame, Texas tonight, 7 o'clock. You won't watch a second of it.
No, I'll just check it and hope that Notre Dame's losing.
Saturday over the weekend, very important hockey game for everybody, as we all know. I know all you guys will be pulling on my Tampa Bay Lightning against Colorado in Game 2. That's an 8 o'clock dropping of the puck.
There will be wine. Happy Father's Day to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
To you, Director Matthew. Yeah. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all of you out there. I hope you enjoy it. Take some time to hug your kids and tell them how much you love them. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you.